Hi everybody, welcome to this free video playthrough for the tournament and division that is displayed on screen right now. Please hit thumbs up, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, totally free to do so, and that helps me out on YouTube. Timestamps for all of the holes used in the description down below. Remember to tweak according to your club's balls and play style. Now remember, there are some old shots maybe in this playthrough, and if so, you will see the old ball attribute levels. So remember that these have now doubled in the game. Remember to keep checking the channel for more Golf Clash content. Good luck, here we go. On this par 4, we're going to drive down with the extra mile, and we're going to use a katana. Setting up here with 4.5 topspin and 1 bar of left spin, so you can play this with extra mile 7+. You can use Thor's hammer with more topspin to account for the lack of distance, and also apocalypse as well. But we're aiming down the fairway as shown, and I'm going to adjust this drive maximum distance and 10% elevation. Max distance, 10% elevation. If you have straight tailwind, then you can of course push this drive harder and get more distance and hopefully drive into short iron range. And if you've got topspin boost balls, then you will be able to get to wedge range or on the green. However, this is a long par 4, so in most cases you'll be driving to go for a grizzly approach. Drive distance in this shot here is 360 yards. Now here we do actually manage to get into thorn range with our drive, and we're going to play this one maximum distance, though we are close to max distance of our club. So obviously in headwind angles or level crosswind you would have to play this with your long iron from minimum distance. But you can see I'm playing a no spin shot here, aiming as shown to account for the wind angle, and we're going to adjust this maximum distance with 10% elevation because this approach does play downhill. So max plus 10 on this one. You can see how downhill it is there, and also that the green slopes from the right down to the left hand side. If you are going to play very aggressively off the tee, beware of that fairway bunker before the green on the left, because there are some slopes down into it, so you will need to be accurate. Max plus 10, and we're sneaking it in for the eagle. This short par 4 will require you in most brackets to get to green and secure the eagle in all wind angles. In this slight tailwind angle we can use a kingmaker. In headwind though, a luminary or a higher power ball would be necessary. We're going to play with 0.4 backspin and 3 bars of left spin here, and I'm setting up as shown with apocalypse level 5 and 6 at the top of plus 8 yards, and you could see the ring references there. Make sure to convert your starting plus yards and ring references if you are using a different driver. This one plays uphill, so we're going to go max minus 15% elevation, power 6 numbers, and we're playing without a wall curl to the left. Full overpower, it's a slightly shaky needle. Of course, if you then switch to a higher power ball, you will have a slower needle, but we're getting down to fringe for an easy wedge. With the tailwind here, we can actually drive ourselves to wedge range with a Titan. We're going with the red ring touching the rough on the right, APOC 5 and 6 at P6 max rest. I'm going with 6 top spin and half a bar of left spin. Extra mile 8 would be fine here. You would need to push up a few yards after your setup and adjustment though. But if you've got more top spin available, by all means use it. You could also try extra mile 9 here as well, but at the moment I've just gone with APOC 5 and above. Adjustment is max plus 0, power 6, full overpower. It's a slow needle. You can, if you don't have any extra top spin available, push up a few rings to get closer to the green, but I was still within wedge range here, and Embringer School was working nicely for me. Obviously you can also go with a higher power ball to push the ball down there even further. There's plenty more distance you can get off this one, but either way it's an easy wedge. If you are with us as a free Patreon member, you will be sent out these companion sheets. We've got the general elevations for the holes used in the tournament, and also our tournament note sheets. Divided into 9 segments, you can write in your elevations and adjustments as you go throughout the week. And if you want even more perks, you can join us as a paid member over there on our Patreon as well. Link in the description down below. Par 5 here, and you need to take care on both the drive and the approach to give yourselves a good chance to drop this shot. We're going with APOC 5 and above, 4 top spin and 3 right spin. It's top of plus 10, red ring touching the rough. You can actually play this with APOC 4. You can also play this with extra mile 8 and maybe even 7 as well. Obviously would have different ring references and starting plus yards. But keeping it simple for the APOC players here, APOC 5 and 6, adjust max plus 0, and then we're going to go with 0.9 ball curl to the right, and I'm going with just before circle drop over power, and we want to swing this ball round the fairway in between where the bunker juts out from the left hand side to the right, and just park up in the middle of the fairway there at that narrower area. Drive distance around 356. Now you can see here we're going to be in wood club range, but it's a bit bumpy, so we've got to find a decent landing spot. I'm pushing up rings from min, so I've got room to adjust. Then I'm going to add my spin. You're always going to need left spin here. I would only play this ball with a side spin 6+ ball. I'm going with 4 back spin and left spin as needed to line the ball guide up with the hole. You might need to zoom in so you can see the ball guide and the pin, as well as of course your spin box. So here it's just before 2.5 bars of left spin, but it will depend on your wind angle and where you finish up with your drive on this hole. Leaving the ball guide short, and we're playing rings from min. I pushed up about 8 rings, so it's going to be approximately 20% on the slider. Instead of playing 10%, which I did in the video, I would recommend you play this with 5% elevation. But again, this is only a guide, and the setup will vary dramatically based on the wind angle here. The terrain is very bumpy and the hole is tricky. So if you can dial this one in, then it's going to be an absolute boost to your scorecard. Perfect ball away, the spin grabs nicely, but like I say, just misadjusted, but a tweak, and you should drop this one. If you're feeling brave in tailwind, you could have a go at blasting this down to the green, but that fairway is by no means flat, so I'm going to suggest a layup in all wind angles. In this crosswind angle, we're playing with the quarterback, 3 top spin and 2 right spin, white ring touching the rough on the right at the top of +10. We're then going to adjust maximum distance, 0 elevation, but I'm using power 0 numbers, okay? So it's less than usual. That's because this shot does play slightly uphill. I'm playing with power 6 numbers, and any more elevation was over adjusted. So max plus 0, power 0 settings with the quarterback, centre the ball and hit perfect. This is going to set us up very nicely for a rough bump, a backspin approach with our short iron. You can see here, taking the slope down the fairway, it's curving to the right. That's going to be absolutely fine. Now on the approach here, you are going to see me move around a little bit to try and see if you can see the funnel with the ball guide. Unfortunately, it doesn't present itself very obviously at all with the Thorn level 9, but I'm playing with 2 bars of backspin and aiming deliberately right of the pin. You can see that second bounce on the green square dividing line to the right of the pin. Now that's because the green slopes down from the fringe on the right down to the pin, and there's kind of a mini funnel down here, but you've got to try and take a practice or token or two to find it. I'm playing true club distance here, and I estimate this to be 75% of my club distance, 20% elevation. Small tweak needed in this wind angle, a little bit of curl, a couple of clicks of left curl, and we'd have got that one in, but that's my recommendation. This par 3 is very tough. We're going to go with the Guardian, setting spins with a basic ball to ensure no accidental side spin. Max backspin, then we switch to a Kingmaker, and it's all about getting the offset correct here. I'm looking at the second and third bounce. This will need a small tweak, and then even in tournament scenarios you will have to make a load of wind angle tweaks here to drop this consistently due to the high second bounce with the backspin. It's a very tough hole, but you can see I'm offsetting deliberately slightly short and a green square left of the pin. The other complication is you adjust to a lower point here, so you've got to factor that one in as well. We're playing mid plus 20 here. Medium distance, 20% elevation. I would use as much wind resistance as possible on this hole to give yourselves a good chance. Small tweak, we might have got that one in for a hole in one. Very tough hole. On the drive on this par 4, we're going to bounce over and set up for a rough bump. But bear in mind the fairway is not entirely flat, so you need to adjust accurately and set up in the right point so that you don't get a weird bounce. We're going with 5.8 top spin and 3 left spin. I'm at +5 with APOC 5 and 6, and I'm aiming on the flat part in the middle of that fairway just before the mound on the left and the right. You can see if you aim further up, you're going to catch an uphill slope and you're going to lose distance on the shot because of the high bounce. So it's all about finding the fine details here on this drive. Maximum distance -10 because we are playing uphill, and then I'm going with a little bit of overpower and half a ball of curl to the left. You will need to take some tokens, get something dialed in different wind angles here. This is going to be a really sensitive hole where the details are crucial to get consistency, not just on the drive but also the approach. Drive distance 365. Second shot, I'm making a sand check here with my bullseye +2 at the top of the bunker in line with the pin, and then I'm going to go for a rough bump. Very close on this one, and I'm going to give you a tweak based on my miss in the video. Max topspin with the thorn, and we're going to aim with the top of the yellow ring touching the rough and the ball guide going just through the hole, favouring the right side of the cup. And the reason I aim like this is because we're going to adjust slightly down the slope and lose distance. For a +2 sand check, this is a tweaked adjustment. Based on the miss in the video, I would like you to play 14% slider, 0 elevation. Now you can play this one in tailwind and headwind as well, but you would need to compensate accordingly with your setup points because you're going to pull either onto the green or further down the slope and lose distance in that case. So it is one where some tokens are needed. Perfect ball away. I do like the rough bump approach though. Small tweak and you should get in for your eagle on this tough par 4. On this par 3 you're going to have a decent chance with the sniper in all wind angles. Low wind here because this is replicating pro, so you can use a navigator. Obviously if you're playing expert, I go with a kingmaker. I'm going to add 1 bar of left spin and then just over 1 bar of back spin, and I'm looking at the ball guide here to be pointing outside the pin to the right. We're looking around 1 green square right of pin. Tip of the ball guide just beyond the back of the cup because there is a slight headwind angle here. We're going to play this one 1-to-1. Unfortunately, I hop over the hole here, so a click or two more backspin would have been preferable because I just overlooked the fact that this green does slope downhill ever so slightly. So I just needed to have the tip of the ball guide probably to the front edge of the cup in this wind angle, but obviously you will need to tweak according to the angle that you get. The line is good though, just a bit pacey, but a very good chance on this par 3 to grab yourself a hole-in-one. If you are enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to help out and keep everything free, then please consider making a small donation. All donations are gratefully received and help me out here on the channel, as all of the content here is produced for free in my own spare time. You can do that in one of 3 ways. You can hit the thanks button here on YouTube, you can make a PayPal donation via the link in the description down below, or you can also join us over on Patreon. Details at the end of the video. Quite a long par 4 here. If you get straight tailwind with a decent wind strength, you can blast this with a power 10 ball and a load of topspin. If not though, you're going to have to lay up, and that's what I'm going to show you here. Quarterback, blue ring touching the rough on the right at +10. We're going 5 topspin and 3 bars of left spin. I'm using the quarterback for the ball guide and the accuracy. Adjustment here is max -20. Ensure you've got -20 and not +20. This hole, as you can see there, we can't even see where we're aiming. This is dramatically uphill, unlike many of the other holes in Golf Clash. So make sure you go with negative elevation here due to the uphill nature. There's not much time, the ball's in the air. So max -20, going to get you around 315 yards. 2 options here. I'm going to briefly show you the safe to green option, and that will be playing with right spin and either top spin or back spin, bounce before the fringe and try and catch the slope down to the pin. The best opportunity though for the eagle is the rough bump, and I'm going to show you my first attempt at it here. We're adding around 2.5 top spin, and I'm going to aim with the ball guide there with the grizzly for the ball guide of course and the accuracy. I'm aiming at the pin. This one coming in a little bit short, so I needed really to have the ball guide going to the pin itself rather than just short of the cup. Red ring touching the rough, and I'm playing this one in the video true club distance -10. However, I over adjust it. I would recommend you play true club distance -15 elevation. I favour the rough bump rather than the backspin approach down because it's going to be easier to control the ball, but obviously you have to decide which approach you feel is best for you. But like I said, straight tailwind, I would be tempted to blast this with your topspin and get on the green to putt for your eagle. Please do join us over on Facebook. We have an ever-growing community of players there, over 16,000 members. Head over to Facebook, search for BK Golf Clash and submit your member request there. Free to join, there are free guides posted, lots of shot sharing and discussion points. You can chat and interact with me as well, and loads more over on Facebook. So head over there and search for BK Golf Clash.